Hello
So,
everyone, welcome to the Azure DevDay Gunupur. This is Lakshit Pant, your host for today. And today I have the special guest Vishwas Narayan with me, who is going to teach you about the Azure, Microsoft Azure fundamentals. He will take you through what is about cloud computing, what it looks like to build with Microsoft Azure, and what are the basic that you should consider before jumping into directly into the cloud portal. He will give you the quick overview, and definitely it's going to be very exciting for you because it's going to be hands-on session as well. So I'm not going to take much of your time. Over to you, Viswas. Vishwas, you are on mute.
so yeah, I'm more excited to talk in the student crowd because to me, when I was a student, it was always the journey of like, you know what, can I can I can I install something on my Android application? Can I use the same way it works on an computer, which is as good as you know a MacBook today, or else an probably a Pentium PC, what we had over a course of time. I think cloud over a course of time has bought that accessibility. Cloud has bought that visibility over a course of time. I think as a guy who's educating over a short period of time, I have understood one thing, that industry is never stagnant and industry is always growing. And there is always a new requirement that comes up in the market. And here we are today, we are not just going to address only, okay, this is what is happening in the industry and we need to learn it, but we are also going to address a lot more things beyond it. So I think over a course of time, we have seen a lot of evolving stages. So let's get to know every stage one by one so that we all can learn everything from scratch. So i'll just I'll just start sharing my screen so that you all can start getting to know what is happening with respect to the cloud computing world. I think my screen needs to be shared now. Yep, I think it's perfect. So let me just go to the slideshow and you guys can start seeing it. So a brief intro about me. I'm a podcaster. I just love talking to as many techies as I can, and I love teaching technology. I love learning technology. So the whole essence of my journey is always about, can we adapt quicker and faster? And I think I'm learning that even today. So yeah, let's start about it. So I'm a big bibliophile. So I just love to learn as much as we can. And currently I'm working at Devtron as a community evangelist. And currently I'm wearing the same hoodie. I just have a little bit more hair there. That's it. So yeah, that's what is a change of attire. So, so let me just talk about the timestamps of what cloud computing had offered over a course of time. If you think what cloud computing had offered, it was all bare metal, which was just like working on your PC. Your PC used to be something which used to give out number of websites out for the world, but it changed the way we are thinking about technology today, right? So it's all before 2013 that we always thought about, let's optimize compute further, because even then you were not talking about CPUs and RAM, but you still talked about how to optimize the software and start working towards it. So so in a meanwhile, what happened is, there are patterns that are being seen in the industry. It's like, I'll also discuss about this in a later part as well. But what happened in the current state of the art technology is, we literally saw that there is always a pattern that we always look back at, whether it can be a pattern in Java programming language, whether it can be a pattern in something as small as Linux. We literally saw a pattern in here. So when we saw a pattern in here, a guy named Solomon Hikes created a company called as Docker. And of course, March 8th, we are just going out there celebrating the 10th birthday of Docker. So we can just go out there and start worrying about that. Like, we are educating a lot of folks there. So it's a lot of pain that we just go through when we tend to educate people out there when it comes to the broad spectrum of technology that we are talking. And what I'm talking here is functions as a service, which actually existed parallel with Dockers and Kubernetes. But over a course of time, if you see, what really changed in a course of time is the Kubernetes services. The Kubernetes services just literally gave a new definition of optimization to engineers, right? I'll just give you one example. As an computer vision engineer, not a scientist. Like, I have never worked completely as a scientist, but as a computer vision engineer, I never thought I talk CPUs and RAM, but architecture today is in such a way that I need to talk about RAM and CPUs at any cost. So there's a lot that goes behind when we build technology, when we are driving technology over a course of time. I think I think the best part about it is we learned how to DevOpsify virtual machine. That means there was nothing called as a manual deploy. Like there was nothing called as go burn a CD, spin it in a disk, and now take it out. So we try to DevOpsify it. So that's what used to happen in the bare metal, right? Bare metal used to be something like a DVD player. The CDs used to go there. It used to just up and running. It used to get uploaded, but it's a cool ball game that really was like ask somebody who's there. If your father or mother is in an IT industry from past 20 years or so, they should be knowing something called as mainframes. Mainframes used to be the only definition of compute that they had, because that ran on their system, and that's what their managers gave to them. So we learned how to DevOpsify everything, and we DevOpsified everything every place. So Azure computing services are the top notch in the industry. Like I would obviously have a lot of trend that is going on in the market, which says about, hey, AWS is this, GCP is offering this, and there's a lot that goes behind, right? So Azure computing services like VMs, container instances, service fabrics, the Azure Kubernetes service is something which we all look back at. So, to be very frank with you, everybody wants to build the most amazing machine that they could ever build, right? Well optimized, well cost effective. Everything has to be top notch, and who better than Azure does that? There is an on premises offering of the same services which are provided as a SaaS services, and you don't have to think about one VM itself. You just don't have to think about one VM itself. You just have to think about hundreds of VMs which are already there. That means you have an Oracle database. You can just go out there and figure out, okay, this is what is happening. So think about it. So there was a definition of multi-cloud, but when the multi-cloud came in, nobody wanted to bet on it, right? That is what cross-cloud came into the picture. When the cross-cloud came into the picture, literally, to be very frank with you, business started changing. We stopped more business and less jargons out there. So think about it. Azure functions, Lambda from AWS, GCP functions still remains the same, but everything is still remaining the same. So this is going to be an advanced topic, but you can just see what is the different definition of computers that we are giving right now here. So infrastructure as a service is being given to you as infrastructure as a service. That means cloud infrastructure is given to you. It's up to you to optimize it and run it. Virtual machines are always there. So virtual machines are going to be somebody like in software, which is just going to give you the sample of your entire cloud infrastructure, and you are just going to operate on it. So now whatever I talked about with respect to Docker is the same concept of containers here. So let me just give you a simple annotation of what's happening in a container. So containers is, though the software was getting optimized, people still found that there's always an available space that we can optimize, and we can work there and we can run our business there. So what they did was, they thought, why to complicate all the things when we can all deliver everything as a file system, and we can go out there and check out all the different services out there. So what they did was, they packaged everything as applications, binaries, libraries together, and there was one engine that ran behind. That's Docker engine out there. So Docker engine ran everything, compiled everything, that gave the accessibility that is state of the art. That means everybody had the best part of the resources, and everybody were defining it. So what I told in terms of function is simple. You just put a piece of code, a logic, and the set of dependencies, just like the containers, but you don't have any other dependency of run. You don't need a Docker engine or else any sort of a container engine to start running it. So what happens is, it's just a logic which you just deliver to the cloud, and that logic gets delivered and that gets run over a course of time. And mind you, this is not the ultimate solution. There are something called as microservices, which is more cost effective than functions. So what happened is, the moment your demand increases, the number of replication of functions increases. So when the number of replication of the functions increases, there's always an compute space which is left. So that's a reusable compute space that you are effectively using. though you're buying out a very small chunk of it, you're still running the most effective, useful part of it. So let me be very frank with you. How many of you know Git, GitHub, or functions or anything like that? So I think you guys can put that in the comment section down here so that I can start learning about, okay, this is where you guys are. So how many of you know Git init? I know there's a lag of 30 seconds out there in the stream, but do make sure that you answer the question out there. So yeah. All right, Fighter Tom, sorry for that, bro. So I think most of you should be knowing what is Git, right? Git is obviously one of the most coolest feature that you can ever look back at. So Git is something that you always look back at, right? So think about it. So I think let's not. I think if there is a lag, sorry for that, because I am actually outside, and I think let me just go here and say how many of you know Git and GitHub as your developer community. I think we are going Gunupur something. I don't know, man. How many of you know Git and GitHub? Okay, so I just wanted to do that so that you guys can get to know it. So it's fine that you guys know something. So that's all right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's absolutely fine. So now, when you know the pattern of it, it's all Git in it. Git start is never there, but you always have something to initiate. So Git init is obviously there. So in a similar function, func init is function in initialization. So for an Azure function, if you start developing a function CLI and you will start working on it, it's func init out there and it starts working as smooth as butter for you on your CLI, and it reflects on the cloud portal as well. So think about it. So this is all a pattern that I want you to suggest. I want you to go through so that you guys don't get messed up with the definition that we have. Somebody sees a pattern and we are utilizing it and running the application out there. So all right, folks. Now let me just go out there and let me just make sure that there is a bastion running out here so that we always have something or the other out there to show. So let the deploy bastion start working, and there's already an application which is up and running for me. So let me just click on this. So I think this is going to take a bit of a time, but let me just go to my terminal and I'll show you how it actually works. So let me just go turn on my Docker so that everything starts working for me. So it's a simple definition. You need not have to start from scratch or anything. You just need to say to yourself, you know what, we are just going to work as quick as possible and things like that. So there you see it, right? This is the same application which is running on the cloud. So you guys can go and check this out there. So I think I'll put that in the chat section here so that you guys don't have to look back at it. So there's a chat section here. So yes, so you guys can go and check the chat section here. All right, so Vishwas Narayan demo. All right, my friends, I think there is obviously an website. I think I need to format it a little bit so that you guys can check it out. Website, and there you have it, my friends. You guys can start working on it. All right. Okay. Just go and copy it and paste it. So you guys will start getting that onto your system. So it's a simple definition, right? I wanted to run this on my computer. Will it run the same way? Sometimes it might, yes. Sometimes it might not, right? What we do is we package everything. So if you really want to learn what is your entire portfolio of containers, Docker, and things like that, it's very simple here. So Docker tutorial files. Okay, I'll just do one thing. I'll do something else. Docker tutorial files. This is one of my repository. I can't teach you from scratch, but I can teach you simple definitions which will start making a lot of sense to you. I think that is what I can do right now. So let me just do that way as your developer community. Okay, there is a Gunupur live stream which is happening, right? So what you guys can do is you guys can go check that out there, and everything will start working fine for you. So what we do is in industry we don't have time for so many things to be done, right? So what we do is we dockerize everything. That means we take the libraries, binaries, and we start working towards making our lives much more easier and faster. So now what we do is I want to run that application similar way in such a way that it doesn't hinder performance at any cost. So what I do is I run the application. So it's a simple story for me. Simple as that. Just start learning here. Docker run minus D minus T minus P. I'll give you every definition. So don't worry about it. So 80 is to 80 is I'm saying that from my computer access the 80 number port from the defined mini computer that I'm giving. That's a container access the 80 number port which is there on my computer itself. So it's Vishwas Narayan slash Vishwas, and you can see that it's giving me an error because it's a Mac OS machine which is not supposed to run any sort of an application. So by the way, if I had run the same application before I do this command, it wouldn't have it worked. But right now it started working for me. The same application, right? I clicked on the same application, it's still up and running for me. So it's a similar fashion. I can give you this repository where I built the file. Everything is there here, so you guys can just go check that out. It's very simple to build as well, so don't worry about it. I'll say you that as well. So git clone that repository ID, perfect. Everything has been put in the condition. Fatal destination reactor file already exists because I'd already had cloned this application. So I do reactor file and I say docker build minus p. I'm tagging the application and saying that, hey, this is the definition of the mini computer that I'm going to have. I'm going to say which was Narayan 2345 at gmail.com as one of the name, and I'm going to say this is the folder which has a docker file in it, and it starts building an application for me. Okay, sorry for that. So it doesn't take at as one of the symbol, so you guys can just go and give this command, and there you have it. So we are building it right now, and it's taking in all the binaries, apps, and everything. So if you have any doubts and queries, don't worry about it. Everybody is learning out there, so just stay calm, composed. Reach back to me on LinkedIn. So what we can do is we can take an one-on-one call where you guys can start learning about containers, Kubernetes, and things like that. No link is coming in the chat box. It's coming in the chat box, by the way. I am able to see it. So if you can see me here, I've been doing a lot of chats here. So I think there is already a chat. No link. All right.
Vishwa,
I don't know about it. I think
yeah,
there is a
Vishwa, you can
problem
just
with.
paste the link in the private chat. I will drop it there.
Okay. You guys will do it, right? Yeah. Go ahead with it, right? I'll get you all the repository link that I did. I think Docker tutorial file. Yes, these are the ones, and the application. This one, and it's here. So you guys, you have it, buddy. You paste it. We'll obviously have it out there. So all right then. So now the entire process is built, deployed, and everything. So it's still doing the same old Linux operation. So that's what it is, right? Linux is always a shiny looking Linux command. So think about it in that way itself. So do not overcomplicate it. So how I deployed it? Very simple. I just went to the app services. So before that, let me just do one thing. Uh, Before that, let me just do one thing. Let me just give you a brief overview about the portal. This portal is going to be an access to all the services that is going to be given by uh, your Azure as one of the services. So you just go out there and do create application. So just go out there and create a resource group. And Vishwas is the name of it. Yes, and Vishwas was already taken. Narayana 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 something. I say Docker container, and just see the magic. Here the prompt is changing, right? I put it as Docker, it's saying Docker, and if it's it as code, it's changing it as code. If it's a static website, changing as a static site, and there you have it. That's the amount of accessibility the cloud is giving. So it's a simple story out here. I am using V1 tire. That means it's free for life, and it's because I have a free tire account and everything like that. Sorry for that. So since I chose Docker, I need to put a container out there. So what we do is, we generally, when we are starting, we just make sure people use quick start image from the Azure itself. But here I want you to go out there and try this container, Vishwas Narayan / Vishwas. I'll just give it this in the private chat so that you guys can go and check this out. Container. So you guys can go and check the container out there. You still can go and get the password out there. So it's not a complete mess out there. So it's a password driven bastion service. So now I'm connecting to a VM, so that's okay. So that's absolutely fine. So I'll just show you what happens here. So let's say sometimes in containers we deploy it as a static application and we don't want to run anything out there, right? But what we do is we just make sure that this starts running up and running in my system. So what we do is we have some startup commands which we don't push in the Docker file. So we put the startup commands here. So it's a simple story. It's just one container which is just getting ran. It's you are I can just simply say you one thing. It's a mini computer running on a computer right now. Simple as that. So review and create out there. You will still get the same application with a different URL right now. So as a matter of fact, there is hundreds of different things that's happening in the market right now, right? So it's a password driven thing, and it's a password driven thing, and now I'm allowing the save text to happen. So I do sudo apt get install update. It goes for an update, and sudo apt get upgrade -y, because it's already unable to locate the package upgrades and things like that. App get install apache 2. You can just couldn't open the local file for dpkg and things like that. It's sudo apt get install apache 2, and there you have it. You guys can just go and check this out. So in a matter of fact, let me just say you one thing. Let's not complicate this one, and I'll just show you how it is. Okay, so you guys go here. You have a public IP right now. You just go and check it out. You will have an Apache 2 which is getting built. What's happening here is very simple. It's defining a computer as an exposable application. So as I told you, right, it's just clicks here, it starts working. So the moment I just put the container here, it just gave me an URL, and now my container is up and running in a similar fashion. In a VM, what we do is very simple. Logically, it runs a computer on a computer, right? So what's happening here is the moment I install an Apache 2 instance, Apache 2 came up on the picture. So what's happening here is the moment I say connect through Bastion, and I say this is my password, and I say Bastion connect over here, it connects me over a computer, which is much more efficient and faster for me, right? So very simple to set up. What they ask in Azure exams are also same. What's the basic definition of Azure as one of the services when it comes to a VM? How many different kind of VM services are there? There are Arc based services. When I told you about Arc based services, it's the main definition of how a cross cloud VM can be attached all together. So this is all the simple definition that you need to ask yourself right now. And while answering, just make sure AZ900 exam may you don't go more logical. You just be as dumb as you can, because there your ability to overthink is not being judged. Your ability to think in such a way that you will be the future architect is what being considered. So overall compilation of AZ900 exams ends in these two services only, because this is one of the past services. Platform as a service as one of the options which is given to you, and this is one of the IaaS services. That means infrastructure as a service. That's a piece of data center given to you. So there is a different concept of networking. What is the basic port? And of course you need to be thorough with the concept of Linux. If you are not thorough, sorry for that. What is the disk space and everything? So let me just give you a simple walkthrough of this service so that you get to know what is happening with respect to 80% of your syllabus right now. So the moment you create a resource group, it's a virtual repository for every Azure service that you are having right now, which is just giving you that moment of truth that you know what, he's building up these services and making sure that the cloud architecture is up and running at these virtual repositories itself. So now to identify, I'm just giving it a name, which was Narayan Community Dude. Sorry, community dude out there. So you guys can go and check out how many availability zones is required. Let's say if Azure data center is made to go bad and nobody wants to lose a customer out there. So that is where availability zones come into the picture. Define it as 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. So now because I have been working on so many applications, it's not coming, but I can show you. I showed you this application, right? You guys can go check this application out there in this IP that I've given here. So don't worry about it. It's all simple out there. Just think simple, that's it. So simple as that. So I put a 3 availability zone. So it's creating a VM scale set. That means scaling at that set. That means at one given point of time there are 100 people, there is only one VM. If there's 150 people hopping in and the computer senses it, that means there is a second VM that is getting generated over a course of time. The moment it goes 102, 103, only the other VM gets selected and it gets pushed in. So as you know that, Azure is very predominantly making acquisitions in terms of strategic acquisition with respect to companies, strategic acquisition with respect to partnerships and things like that. So it's already up and running with the ARM and x64 processors as well. So it's a spot instance. That means on the spot, if there is a traffic, it just runs and the remaining space will be used up whenever it is required. So that is the definition of it. So when it's an eviction process, that means your computer get hacked, your computer is getting malicious software. The eviction strategy is to stop or delocate the application. But I always make sure that we delete an application in the production, because most of the times when we run something as a deep learning model or something like that, when I train an ML model, there are a lot of noise which the model generates, and that can be hackable. And I don't want my systems to be hacked, and that's where I delete the application. So in a similar fashion, you can choose any amount of services that is required. And probably sometimes what happens is you just have to choose a different location and the error goes away, right? You just saw that the error goes away and things like that. So in a similar fashion, just go choose all the ports in such a way that you are making sure that your application is up and running. So if you have worked in Raspberry Pi, you should be knowing what is it. So that is the whole cool definition that I can give right now. And I think that's the whole point, my friend. It's a strategic move that every company does, because everybody needs to make money at the end of the day. I think this is the password. Okay, let's keep this as the password, and we'll test it out. How easy it is to deploy an application on a VM today. That is where recruiters bet on it. Recruiters really bet on it because they love the people who run VMs. I don't want it to go through this. All right, I think there is some sort of an glitch, but it's all right, not a problem. Like, we literally have created so much of a VM. I think probably it's not allowing because of that. I think we don't have to worry about it. It's okay, man. I've already created a VM with the same instance, but don't worry. You just have to just click on this application. You just have to restart the application, and there you will get every access to the ports, the containers, and everything. So, in a similar fashion, in an Azure exam, what you will be asked is what is the resource group and how it's taking care of every application out there. Simple as that. Just go here and check out what is happening here, and it's saying that this is the ASP.vishwas.net. That means this is a Linux package which is up and running over a course of time. And as you can see here, it says it's a Linux plan which is just working for me. So as a matter of fact, you don't need a backend team to maintain a log of data or anything like that. They can really go back and figure out what is happening here itself. In a similar fashion in the VMs as well. So think so so the whole destination game of where should we throw the application just is just one click. But where are we pushing it, how are we pushing it, what are we doing it, and things like that. So So I think there is something called as slots here. I think you should be knowing about it right now. I'll say you how. There are two applications which are up and running in the Azure app services right now, and there are zero deployment slot. That means there are two applications which are running as an prod, and there is no prior environments like pre-prod, test, or development. So that is the definition of it. Slots here means the environments that you are going to rig up and things like that. So in a similar fashion, you can see how much was the memory usage, because the very small application thus there was a very less memory usage. If it was a bigger one, it would have been a big mess out there. So there is a data in and a data out. That means how many bytes of data went in and data went out and things like that. So this is how it is. I think many of you clicked on the application, so that is where we are seeing the spike here. So so as a matter of fact, I'll show you one more resource group and we'll end the session here. You can see that, the moment I clicked on Vishwas group, which is there here, I was able to see these many things. This is a service called as Bastion. That means the thing which I'm accessing the VM here is through a Bastion out there. So Bastion is a concept in VMs where an internet portal is used for accessing an application rather than a private portal out there. So that's the definition here. So you can see that I have a public IP. Yes, that's the public IP which I shared for you in order to access the Apache 2 application, which was just deployed by Apache package as a default one. And there are network security shield, and this is a network security group, and it's saying that, what, there are different ports which are allowed: inbound security, outbound security. That means which is within the vicinity of the cloud service provider, which is not within the vicinity of cloud service provider. Are they secure? Are they allowed to make any sort of an action? Everything has been considered. So during an AZ 900 exam, you need not have to worry about what goes wrong. You know what you should be thinking? How dumb can I be to look back at a resource group which I have practiced right now and I can look at it? So as a similar fashion, Azure is working more on security, right? So there you can see all these kind of capabilities that we are talking right now. So I think this is the most coolest capability that you can look back at when it comes to the security. DDoS is nothing but distributed denial of service. That means the moment somebody wants to take down your application, they can really take care of this kind of an configuration out there, which can be an hacker who can cost $60 to just take down your $1 million application. So you can just enable this DDoS application, and I know the resource ID, and I just say the resource ID plan. If I don't have it, I can just create it right away, and I can just go out there and start working on it. Simple as that. So this is the definition of Azure as one of the accessible services that you can have, and you can start using it. So that's it, my folks. I think the disk, this is a NIC, and this is the disk, which is telling that there is an OS image which is getting stored and things like that. So, and the NIC is nothing but the network interface card. Just like your network modem, it's still working as the same thing in the cloud out here. So simple as that. So I think let's end here. Let's not overcomplicate anything, and make sure that you ask as many questions to me on LinkedIn, so that I can get back to you with as much as solution, so that I can enable you build a portfolio for your next AZ 900 exam. I think thank you so much, folks. That's the end of the session, and see you soon, folks. I think Lakshit, I'm ending the show. You can just go ahead with it.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, Vishwas, for your kind insights. And here is the link of Vishwas LinkedIn handle if you guys can check it out. So you can just connect with him. If you have any doubt, any query, please let us know in the comment section. We'll be very happy to take up
Thank
your
you so much,
doubts.
folks. I'll just have to leave right now, and I'll just catch on to you on LinkedIn. Okay.
Sure, guys. Thank you, Vishwas. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, Vishwas, you can just take a leave. I'll just quickly explain the Azure Developer Community thing to these guys. So everyone, those who are listening to this dev day, this is Lakshit Pant, and I'm going to give you a quick overview about Azure Developer Community and what we do at Azure Developer Community. So this is a community supported by Microsoft, and we do a lot of events, offline events, hackathons, so that we can help you upskill your like the dev day that we are doing. We have done multiple offline and online events, so you guys can check this out. Check this link. the Azure Developer Lead applications are still open. You can just apply to Azure Developer Lead for the Azure Developer Lead. So in every city, we have 114 plus 8 leads in multiple cities of India. So they have their own rights and powers to make it to the multiple levels. And if I can just share you another link, that is the Discord handle for joining the Azure Developer Community Discord channel, where there are like-minded people who would be very happy to take up your doubts. If you have any query, anything regarding Azure, any doubt regarding Azure or how to build Azure, or while you are deploying something, while you are building with Azure or anything like this, these 10,000 guys are there who will be very happy to help you guys. Also, if I could show you up this, just give me a second. I'm just maybe I can present my screen. So yes, I hope my screen is visible to you. So if you will see, right over here, this section here, what we call a blog section is there. So if you are writing any blog around Azure, please do ping us on this. You will find our emails and everything right over here. Okay, here is the email. You can just email us. You write a blog, just email your blog. Like, this is the blog I have written. Suppose if I can just pick any name from the comment section, suppose Rakesh or maybe Rutuja or maybe Pankaja, any one of you has written any blog around Azure or around these open source environments or these tools, you can just share your blogs with us. We would be very happy to post your blogs right here. We would be very happy to feature your blogs in our Azure Developer Community link, this page, and it would be really helpful for you as well to upscale in your career. It will promote your, if because we will help you to reach your blogs to more than 30,000, more than 80,000 people's. So this, you can just understand what are the powers you will get after being Azure Developer Lead or just being a contributor. So let us know if you want anything else. And apart from this, I just wanted to couple of share more things. Like this, there is this called Azure CLX portal, where you will find Azure Develop, like this is by Microsoft, and you will find here multiple certifications. So just go through this link. You will this link will be very useful for you if you want to explore cloud, and if you want to get certified with Microsoft Azure certifications. You will see there are multiple certifications right over here. Like let me just wait for this to open. Okay, yeah, you will see there are these bunch of certification you can get for free, right? AC 900, AI 900, DP900. So these all 900s are for free. And as you have your college ID, your student ID with you, every Microsoft certifications fundament certification is free of cost for you. So what I will suggest to you, all of you guys, to explore all these portals. I've already shared you like this CLX thing with you, and there are some more, maybe some more couple of things I could share. Just give me a second. Maybe I can share with you. Yeah, so these are the cloud skill challenges that Microsoft really offers. You can just explore these cloud skill challenges. There is this website called Microsoft Learn. You can just check out the Microsoft Learn website, where you will find all the, just give me a second. Yes, here it is. So this is the Microsoft Learn website. So here what you can do is you can find your roadmap to learn every skill. You will see learn by doing. Technical documentation is there. You can showcase your skills by being certified. You can try code samples from here. There are multiple things. If you want to if you want to take trainings, if you want to get hands-on trainings, definitely there are pathways that has been curated in such a great manner by Microsoft. You will see all these things like Azure Fundamental is there. If you want to build some Power Apps, like there are something called Power BI that helps. So this is an enterprise-based software that helps you explore Power Platform tools. So you can explore these popular learning modules, Azure Fundamental modules. There are a bunch of modules that Microsoft already has published right over here, and you can all do multiple things with these modules. And there are multiple offerings that Microsoft offers, like you can just attend some really great events. So whenever you are in NCR, or whenever you are, good evening Kishan, if you have any doubt, anything regarding cloud computing, just let us know. We would be very happy to take up your doubts. And other than this, I'm just sharing you a couple of more resources with you guys, so that you can just explore cloud more, even more. So yeah, here it is, this Microsoft Learn thing. So what you can do is, if you want to see the Azure portal, so Vishwas has already told you this, but I just wanted you to make sure you explore the Azure portal in the right way. All you need to do is, okay, so there are a couple of things just I just wanted to share with you guys. Like there is this first GitHub Developer Student Pack. So what you can do by GitHub Developer Student Pack is get your access for free. You can if you just check for your college, if your college is registered for as a GitHub University, definitely you can get. I assume your college should be registered there, but if your faculties could help you out with this, it would be really helpful because GitHub Developer Student Pack really helps a lot in emphasizing or upskilling your tech skills. Like it gives you free tools, like you can search for GitHub Student Developer Pack like this. Okay, the first link that you will see over here is like the GitHub Developer Student Pack. Okay, you can try enrolling with your college ID, or you can just college email ID, or you can what you can do is you can just use your normal Gmail ID. Then what you can do is to upload. It will ask you to upload one ID card, so you can ask and you can upload a PDF of your ID card as well. So these are some couple of things that you can do. Okay, if you will see this, so you will see you will get the name cheap, Microsoft Azure, StreamYard, all these things for free, like Visual Studio Code, Typeform, GitHub Pages, MLH. So these are the all additional benefits that you can get for free with, you can see JetBrains, Microsoft Azure, DigitalOcean, GitHub, Visual Studio Code, Educative.io. The courses are really great of Educative.io, Bootstrap Studio. So there are multiple things, and also there are, so you can just categorize. The front end masters course is also present over here. You can also, if you want to explore JavaScript, Node.js, or you want to explore the front end thing, so you can just go to front end master. There you can explore the front end development, and definitely you can build a really good career out there. You can explore all these offers that has been already given by Microsoft. If you want to learn, you can just click on learn, and it will categorize the learn modules that GitHub Developer Student provides. So why I'm telling you this, because from here you can get Microsoft. So if you are a creator also, so you can just get Figma Pro for free, Canva Pro for free also, right? So these are the benefits that comes along with the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So from here, what you can do is, but you can just get the Microsoft Azure certificate. You can get your Microsoft Azure credits for free. So these are $200 credits that you can get for free, and you can explore Microsoft Azure services a little bit more. But my advice would be, don't put your father's or maybe your parents' credit card. Why I'm saying this, because I have seen this multiple times, because beginner makes this a mistake a lot. They put their credit card, but they don't, and they keep their instance running. They just forget to stop their instance. If you are doing anything in Azure, if you are so this is my piece of advice. If you are doing anything around cloud, if you are doing anything around Azure, or it can be any cloud, then make sure if you start anything, make sure you end at the same time when you are wrapping up everything. Like if you are starting a virtual machine, make sure you, after your work is done, after your exploration is done, make sure to stop that instance or maybe that virtual machine. That will because that is costing you on a pay as you go model, right? So definitely you should consider these key points and explore Microsoft Azure, because this is my personal favorite cloud, because this is the most simplest cloud you can ever work with. And this is it from my side. If you guys have any questions, any queries, just let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, we can okay, yeah, okay, just give me a second. You can see there are bunch of things, like there are more than 200 plus services. If you want to see that Microsoft Azure offers, if you want to work with machine learning, if you want to explore OpenAI, so ChatGPT has been the real buzz. If you want to explore the OpenAI services, so it also provides you the Open API services, right? So you can explore OpenAI services as well. There are some couple of things more like database services, API services. There are some great integrations of MongoDB, Red Hat, Linux, and some enterprise software like Oracle. And there, so you can see that you can just categorize all the mixed reality, integration, security, DevOps, so monitoring tools and hybrid multi-cloud functionalities are also there in offered by Microsoft Azure. So you can explore all these tech, services. Just don't focus on some lavish things. You just need to focus on the basic things. You just be grounded. First of all, learn the networking part. Learn how to use Linux. Okay, learn how to use Linux, learn how to use networking, learn how to use operating system, because these are the three most important terms, or maybe the technologies, or maybe the department you should focus on, and that will help you to upscale or you to build a good career in the future. If I assume if you are in a first year, second year, this the best time to start cloud, because the cloud will be leading the future. It is the future, and definitely Microsoft Azure and its current partnerships that you can see, like with OpenAI, with Oracle, and there are some couple of bunch of more business aspects that Microsoft has done or built in upcoming future that will definitely help the vertical Azure to go to the next level. So this is the best time to start with Microsoft Azure, and just stay tuned with our future initiative. We would be very happy to catch you guys up later. Thank you guys for having us later. We will be. I have already shared you all the resources in the comment section. Make sure you bookmark all those things. And in case you have any doubts, any queries, reach out to us on our LinkedIn handle. We'll be very happy to take up your doubts, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having us. Bye bye. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you.